Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube space. Hope you guys are doing well. As I mentioned in my previous YouTube video, I wanted to replace the inserts in my Giulio Germondo with an A5 Stalogy cut down to standard size or standard white size. Here you can see me taking measurements and starting the cut down process. It takes me a while to get through the entire notebook. I use this paper cutter, which I find a bit more convenient to cut down notebooks. I go through the notebook bit by bit and then just cut down the paper to the size I want. I start with the cover of the notebook and then slowly work my way through the notebook. I did cut the notebook wider each time, and then I had trim it down as I measured with the Germondo. Here you can see me measuring it with the Germondo to see if it still overhangs, and then I'm going through the process one more time just to give it a final look. Once I am happy with the notebook size, I moved on to the vinyl cover that I wanted to use. I basically decided to use a Midori A5 size vinyl cover, cut down to standard size or basically the size of this notebook. I cut down the spine of the vinyl cover and then used packing tape to tape it together. This just allowed me to have a bit more option in terms of decoration and applying some pockets and adding some decor to the notebook. I found that my packing tape was a bit wide, so I cut it down in half and then started to stick down the spine. It took me a while to get it perfect, and I did see that the residue was coming onto the vinyl. So eventually what I do is that I cover up the spine with some washi as well once I am happy with the vinyl cover. Here I'm just trying to get some bubbles out, and I do some adjustments off camera. Here you can see me finally happy with the notebook, and here I start to put in some studs in the holes that I had taken the strings out from. I just didn't want to leave the holes empty. Once done, I start to transfer my decor from my standard size. I had a few pieces up in the front pocket. I cut down the card holder to paste on the front, and then also put down a pocket in front of the vinyl. I used packing tape again to reinforce all the decor. Packing tape and some washi, of course. I like the idea of having a pocket up front so I could slide in and out any kind of dashboard that I want. And here I am just moving everything. I was just not ready to let go of the decor that I had in my standard size. I loved all of this, and basically I've had this decor since the start of me using a standard size last year. So I had these pieces of acetate and this pocket with ephemera on it with this washi tape. I've been using the same decor since last year. Here you can see me drawing out the monthlies. I am not a person who would draw out the monthlies, but I decided to give it a go this time, and to be honest, I found it a bit therapeutic. I just sat down one morning with a cup of coffee and I decided to draw them out. It took me under a minute to dot down all the squares and then a couple of minutes to draw the lines. And I complete this process for 12 months because I wanted to have all my 12 months in this notebook. And I also backplanned the monthlies because I like having my month on 2 pages in my everyday carry. Just for a background story, I use my A5 Campania as a main planner, and this is my carry or my notebook, which I use on the go and even at home, for brain dumps, for notes, for daily planning. Here I start to work on my month on 2 pages back planning process. And I basically take out the insert that I was using in my standard size. I take out some stickers and some decoration, and I start to put them together each month at a time. I wanted to know how I would want the month to be written on the page, so here I'm just using some techniques to see where and how I would like the month to be written down. Once I'm happy, I just decide to go with the monthly on the bottom right corner, and I just write the first 3 letters of the month, and that's it. I also start filling up the dates and marking the important dates with stickers of the monthlies, and it was a very lengthy process, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. My month on 2 pages are still my favorite type of planning insert, so I had no issues putting these together whatsoever. Once I start filling up these monthlies, you will see sort of a final look of how my monthlies look like filled up. Here I'm just giving some final touches to the monthlies, and I decide to only do months from Jan to July, and I decided not to do the rest of the months. I was thinking that I can do them later once I have my entire Stalogy set up. I use minimal and some decorative stickers, and I slowly just go through all the dates and write down what happened that day using the insert from my standard size. I absolutely loved how these turned out eventually. I am so happy with the result. It was a process totally worth it. I use dot stickers to mark my paydays, the bills I pay, and some important personal dates. If we have a family outing or if we're meeting somebody, I will mark it with a dot sticker. And if there's any payment due, I will mark it with another color dot sticker. Here I'm just giving some final touches to my monthlies, and I am happy with the result. Once done, I start brainstorming how I would like my individual monthlies to look like when we get into daily planning. So I use the same method that I used in my insert. Here you can see me putting together a cover page for the month. And I didn't really know what to do here, but I just put something together and it came out okay. I also put down a monthly overview page like I did in my standard size insert bullet journal. I put down a calendar view up on the top, followed by a monthly overview list, the focus of the month, and then the highlight of the month. I also put down some inspirational phrases, and I tell myself that I will fill these pages out tonight. Next, I am doing my weekly overview. So at the starting of each week, I will have a weekly overview page. Here, I put down the overview section, the habits that I want to focus on that week, and then what is happening that week, just a list. And then I finally get into my daily page. This is an exact copy of how I was doing my bullet journal insert in my standard size. So Thank you for joining me on my Stalogy setup journey. I hope you guys like the time lapse that I created. I just wanted to do a quick final flip of the setup. By now I've probably mentioned where everything is from, but here's what it looks like. I have a card holder and I have a pocket stuck to the vinyl cover that I cut down for the A5 Stalogy. I just have some more decor. This is the first page of the Stalogy. I have some 2020 goals down here. I have routines and a prayer. This is my mind mapping section, and I just have a bunch of sticky notes in here. This is my 2020 cover page. 2020 year at a glance. Then you get into my month on 2 pages. I drew out these month on 2 pages and I back planned 6 months. And this is July. Then you get into another sort of dashboard. I'm just going to put some information on here. I have this cover page for the month of July, and then this overview page where I have the calendar, what's happening this month, the focus of this month, and the highlight of this month. And then before each weekly, I want to do a weekly overview. So I have a weekly overview, the habits that I want to focus on and what's happening this week. And then I have my dailies, and that is pretty much it. I'm just going to take it on from here, planning in this daily. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk soon.